space where minds collide. Annie and Carrie gonna be your guide. Psychic wonders and spiritual delight will unveil the mysteries in the light. Tune your senses, sharpen your mind. Feel the energy, let your soul unwind. Tarot cards and angels' wings. Sound healing makes your spirit sing. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Energy flowing through your veins. Unlock your power, break the chains. With Annie and Carrie on this ride, discover the universe inside. Healing words in crystal glow, guiding through the ebb and flow. Feel the love that we impart. Awaken the magic in your heart. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days. Mind, body, soul connection strong. Find your peace where you belong. Meditate, elevate, discover ways to brighten up your darkest days.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Annie. Hello, everybody. Hi, Ray. Hi, Anessa.
I'm getting messages tonight. That's great because I haven't had
Yeah,
them for 2 weeks.
I was just going to ask you that. Are you actually seeing the messages tonight?
I can see Anessa and I can see Ray. That's all I can see, but they're there.
You know, one day I'm going to get one of those. Who remembers Romper Room? I'm going to get one of those magic mirrors. Who can I see today? Oh, dear. I'm in a mood, people. It's been a day.
We're both a bit tired, so you know anything could happen tonight.
That's right. That's what happens. It's sore and sorry from bushwalking yesterday, but it was so beautiful. I went for a walk with Dan and Rachel, my son Daniel and daughter-in-law Rachel yesterday, and we did this beautiful walk to these falls. Hi, Sue. Hi, AJ. So we did this beautiful walk to these falls, and I took one of the Seed of Lights with me. And so I did the activation of that and planted it into the ground. And as I was doing that and sort of sending the energy out through the area, I saw a gentleman walking down, and I said to Dan and Rach, "Oh, I think he's got a didgeridoo." And they go, no, it's a walking stick, you know, that one of the proper sticks for the hiking. I went, really? Anyway, I'm sending out this energy, and then the next thing you know, this beautiful, beautiful echo of a didgeridoo is going across the valley. And I went, oh, what beautiful synchronicity. We're both here to do the same thing at the same time. Then I had to string Daniel up. I said, I might go over and introduce myself. Daniel said, no, don't do that. He's trying to have a moment, Mum. You can't do that. And I said, no, Daniel, this is synchronicity and conscious conversations. That could be my future husband for all you know. He went, that's it. I'm leaving. Kids, gotta love them.
Yeah, well, our job is to embarrass our children. You know, like that's our job in life. That's our mission. Yeah. It's interesting though, because if you know the history of Slaughter Falls, he was maybe doing a healing of
Absolutely.
the area, because that's like Slaughter Falls is where there was a whole mob of Indigenous people taken out.
Exactly.
So he was probably doing a healing on it as well. So you were grounding it.
Exactly why I was doing that there. Yeah,
he would have been doing the
really wanted to
healing.
work on the energy there and try and relieve some of that held trauma in the land. And there's been quite a few tragedies there as well. So really wanted to do that. And I really feel he was doing the same thing. I thought it would be perfect for a conscious conversation. However, it was getting dark and they were my guide out. So I didn't have much of a choice but to follow them.
Come with us.
Yeah, they're going to leave me there.
Yes.
Oh,
The joy
dear.
of having our children.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. And just quickly, Ray, thank you for the lovely review that you left on Amazon for the book When the Mountain Answered. Your review actually pushed the book into the hot new releases. So hit number 2 thanks to your review. So thank you for that. Much appreciated. Thank
if
you, everyone.
anybody hasn't got it yet or hasn't read it yet, it's on Amazon. It's called When the Mountain Answered. It's the story of our retreat up the road at the bottom of Mount Tipragagan.
Yeah,
And it's a very, very beautiful story. It's very beautiful. It was a very, very beautiful weekend as well.
it was. And
Enjoyed it.
really, the hope was that the book actually did the weekend justice, because so hard to describe to somebody that wasn't there. But and I was really looking forward to someone reading the book and giving feedback that wasn't there that weekend, just to see if they felt the energy. And I got that during the week. And that was just absolutely beautiful, and she was saying she could feel herself there on the journey, and she hasn't felt that sort of excitement or hope in a book since she was a child. So that was awesome feedback, and it was nice to hear from someone else. Yeah. Hi, Veronica. How are you? Lovely to see you. Well, as things always happen with Annie and I, it's always a bit random as to which topic we're going to do. The beautiful AJ, I saw her earlier in the week, and she actually gifted me this lovely set of Egyptian playing cards. They're very different. And that started a conversation about cartomancy. And I was talking about my nonna, who actually used playing cards, not tarot or oracle cards. So it started us on that conversation. And I have to be honest, I haven't, I guess it was probably one of the first things I played with simply because of my nonna. But really, I went over to tarot and other things after that, and then just pure communication was where I went. But it's something a little different. Annie, you were saying before it's not one of your favourite ways to use the cards.
No, what I used to do right back 100 years ago, I used to have the 4 queens and the 4 kings. And I would get the people, this was when I just newly begun with tarot reading. So it was a long time ago. And what I would do is I would get the people to choose either the king or the queen. If they were female, it was the queens. And if they were male, it was the kings. And what I found generally was, depending on whether it was the ace, the queen, the ace, for heaven's sake, diamonds, hearts, spades, or clubs, that kind of related, because the energy pulled them, and that kind of related to what their reading was about. So
Yeah.
sometimes it was about career, or it would be about communication, or it would be about relationships. So if it was about relationships, it would be the Queen of Hearts they would choose.
Yeah.
So that would be like a basis. And
Yeah.
from there, I would just use the Celtic cross.
Yeah.
But I think what put me off, Kerry, really, really put me off, was I went for a reading with a lady who uses them. And she doesn't just use one pack, she uses a couple of packs.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of the meanings for the number cards are kind of more swayed towards the negative than the positive.
Yeah.
And she had pulled like sevens. You know how fives are my will shit cards?
Yeah. Yeah. And they
Right.
are in cartomancy as well.
Yeah,
They are.
but they also, yeah. they also have sevens, and sevens are not just oh shit, sevens are oh holy shit. They're they're huge, and that's not the same as in tarot. But
Yeah.
she had pulled four sevens, and she told me that they were funeral cards, and that there was
Oh,
going to be four funerals, and that really, really scared me. That freaked me out.
right.
The other
That's
thing, the other thing about them is because they don't have major arcana, they've only
mhm.
got the jacks, the queens, and the kings. They're
Yep.
they're they're more about day to day, workaday stuff because
Mhm.
the major arcana is all the higher level stuff, the messages
Yeah,
from spirit, the messages from your guides. So
correct.
they're more or less, and I mean that's what they were used for. That
Well,
and
yeah, yeah. If you think about when they were first created, which was what 14th, 15th century,
yeah,
um, obviously it started with nobles, but also the nomads and that used to use it as well,
the
right? So
Romans used them.
exactly, and
The
so
Romans used them because it
that
was
was
illegal.
that was all about work. If you think about it, most people either worked the field or blacksmithing, or it was a much different time, which I think can influence what the perception is of the cards as well.
Yeah,
What I've based what I put together for us tonight on is actually how I remember, and gosh, I was only really young at the time, but how I remember my nonna would use them or what they meant. So I've really based it around that. My feeling with them is it's much more, the card, you know what it means, that sort of thing. And like the numbers, it's more of almost a numerology base around the numbers than it is anything else. Um, so you do get to know that, but also that as a reader, when it comes to say your tarot cards, and my favorites, right? I absolutely love the light seer cards, right? But that's also because intuitively it's not just the textbook meaning of the card. It's that when you're reading, you pull to certain symbology and things within the card, which you're interpreting obviously with the cards around it, right? Which brings through the picture. So if you're more of an interpretive reader, it doesn't lend itself as much to that intuition side.
mm,
Um, but I would still encourage people, if they want to play around with it, to use their intuition with what the cards are telling them based on the cards that sit around them. So what I'm going to do is, because it's not a topic I'm 100% on, and I had to sit there and actually think about what my grandmother used to do with it, and I put together a little slide thing. So bear with me. Am I right to jump into this?
go
You
go
all good?
go.
Am I good?
Yes, that's all. That's glorious. How did you manage to do that?
I just played with some of our photos, and I cut out the background
Good job.
on using like on PowerPoint, and I put it in, and then it says adjust picture, and I cut out the background, and took me a while to play with it. But yeah, I just thought that was a bit fun. We're sort of in the middle of the mist there instead of our
Job.
standard photo. But anyway, so just a little bit of background, right? So like it dates back, and I mentioned this 14th, 15th century, and that's when they allegedly first appeared in Europe. But I actually think it dates back earlier than that, really, because ancient China also had a version of using a card system. Um, and that mahjong, all sorts of things, and people would use them as tools as well, because you start picking up repetition, and I think that's what it's about, is that people started to see um, patterns and repetition and symbols. Oh, when I get this card, this sort of thing then happens, and they start to match it up that way, and linking it obviously to numbers, which has been around for a really, really long time. So its background is much older than, say, tarot or oracle, which is probably the latest in those. When it comes to the different suits, hearts, emotions, love, relationships. So think of it similar to cups. If you're thinking of the tarot, think cups, right? So youth, family, growth, it relates to the water signs. It relates to the season of summer. It relates to the heart space. It predominantly relates to a female. So if you're reading and you're getting information about people, it indicates a female. It relates to west as a compass point. And Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if you think cups, you're almost mirroring it, but under hearts. Okay. Then when you move to spades, challenges, truth, justice, destiny, endings, transformation. It's the air card. It relates to winter as a season. It relates to mind, air, overthinking, the thinking stuff, right? It predominantly male energy. It relates to North, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And it's swords. So think swords, right, with that card. Then with diamonds, money, career, material world, courage, energy, and health. So they're your diamonds. It relates to earth energy, autumn, the home as an environment, and female to the east, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and think of pentacles. Okay, so that's the easiest way to match it up. And for clubs, action, travel, growth, communication, creativity, and luck. It relates to the fire signs. Spring is the season, and it connects to spiritual work and the spirit within someone. That's a male related card, relates to south as a direction, and Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So think wands. Okay, so if you're going there, think wands.
That's when it gets a bit different, because the spades are usually communication. The swords are about communication usually, and the clubs, they're usually around business and commerce and that kind of stuff, not so much communication. So there's just little tiny twists in them. But whatever,
And it's just what you get used to as well. Yeah. So, it's sitting and playing, and it's what you connect with, because it really doesn't matter what you're using. You're reading energy, right? Regardless of what you're doing. You actually, and they're all just a tool to read the energy. You're really always connecting in the energy, and you should really always listen to your intuition in the interpretation of it. So I did do one here, just say like a visual, so that you could see the different signs and things. Just some people are more visual than wordy. So I just thought I'd throw up some of the visuals for you on that, so you can see where it all relates, and relates to colours as well. So getting into what they all mean. So as Annie said before, there's no major arcana in this at all. So when you're looking at the kings look at authority and mastery around things, leadership, control, responsibility, right? So whenever you have a king, you're going leadership, control, responsibility. If it's around the heart space, or you're seeing hearts, it's to do with relationships, emotions, etc. Okay, does that make sense? So you're just taking the core meaning of the card and then the influence based on the suit. Hope I'm not making it too complicated for everybody.
That's easy.
For the queens, it's about the inner world and your intuition and your feeling. So queens, emotional, and emotional intelligence as well, nurturing and wisdom. right? So that's coming in with the queens. For jacks, news, communication, and curiosity. Right? So again, think that youthful, younger energy when you're thinking jacks, very similar to the page rather than the knight, right? When you're talking tarot. Okay, so you're sort of missing one in a way there. With tens, 10 is completions, right? So in other things, we talk about nines being completions and endings. When it comes to cartomancy, it's the 10 that indicates completions and end of cycle. The 9 is something that's coming to fulfillment, that it's almost completed. Or so something that you're very near to completion on. Then 8s is movement and progress. 7s are reflection and spiritual insight. 6 is harmony and support networks you've got around you. 5s are change and disruption. So it's still for me, the cartomancy with the 5 is still that oh shit card, Annie.
Yeah.
Whereas the 7 is more spiritual and well, very much what we talked about last fortnight with 7s. That going inward and that spiritual insight and reflection.
Yeah. The sevens in this one, like the sevens, it's like clubs is feeling confined in a relationship, feeling stuck. Spades is loss due to conflict or separation. Cups is disappointments or unreliability in relationships. And diamonds are financial warnings. Be
Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah.
So 5s are still the oh shit cards, but 7s are oh holy shit.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh.
Yeah. So 4's stability and foundation.
Yeah.
3's growth and expansion. So that's your learning card. 2, balance and choices, where there's decisions to be made. And aces, with the ace, I just gave you an example there of when you're looking at the different suits. So aces are beginnings, right? The beginning of things happening. So new love, emotional opening up. So when you're talking about hearts, ace is financial opportunity for diamonds. New idea or project for clubs, and truth revealed, a major shift coming in, right? New major shift for spades. So you can see really that the number still means the same thing. It's new, but it's how you apply the suit to it. Okay. Everyone's very quiet in chat. Maybe I've lost everybody.
Oh, just keep going. People are listening.
Okay. So this is more of a cheat sheet. So hearts, when you're applying it to a heart, ace of hearts, I went through new beginning, fresh energy, opportunities arising. 2 of hearts, balance, partnership, it's a decision point. 3 of hearts, growth, expansion, creativity. 4 of hearts, stability, foundation, security. 5 of hearts, change, conflict, challenge. 6 of hearts, harmony, support, healing. 7 of hearts, reflection, spiritual insight and evaluation. 8 of hearts, movement, progress, momentum. 9 of hearts, fulfillment, near completion, and gratitude comes in with your 9. 10 of hearts, completion, end of a cycle or a transition. Jack of hearts, message coming, curiosity, and that youthful, excited energy. Queen of hearts, intuition, emotional intelligence, wisdom. King of hearts, leadership, authority, and mastery. Now, it doesn't matter which one you go to. All I would change on here, and I'll just show you, is as you go through, it's still the same thing. It's just being applied in a different way as you move through. So You know, if you're here, so if you're talking diamonds, money, career, material world. If you're talking about clubs, it's action. It's taking action on things. It's growth. It's communication. The spades challenges truth and transformation. So it's just applying that with that environment around it. It's I find this cartomancy something that is, I find it personally a lot harder than any other reading to use, right? And I've been playing with it all week. However, when I was using the cards that AJ gave me, they actually sort of cheated a bit because they have these beautiful pictures on them. Can you see that? The Egyptian pictures. So in a way, I was starting to connect in with the imagery on the cards. But when you're using your very plain playing cards like that, it's very different again, right? It's purely running on the numbers and what you know of the meaning of the numbers of the card and then the suit. So quite different. Okay. So I thought we might play a little bit and see if everyone can play. And I can flick back and forth to help you all. So I thought I might just throw up a spread of cards. So let's just stay with hearts just for a moment. So we have a 2 of hearts, which is going to relate to partnership and connection. A 5 of hearts, which is emotional loss or conflict. And a 10 of hearts, which is happiness and family fulfillment. So, guys, this is interactive in chat. I'm going to see if you can give me how you would interpret a reading if you had the 2, 5, and 10. We'll see if anyone's game enough to put up an interpretation of the 3.
So while they're doing that, there was Mary, I think it's Lenormand, that's how you say it. She had a very specific set of 32 cards, and they were all about day to day to day stuff. And you can still get these cards. I've got them somewhere. Now, Josephine and Napoleon used her to predict their future. Napoleon used them to predict what would happen in battles. There's been a fair few people that have used it. And when you have somebody like pulling into somebody who's doing readings or somebody who's got psychic skills, there's a huge tendency for it to be poo-pooed. Tony Blair's wife, the English Prime Minister, she also had a card reader. And when it all crashed and burnt over there for her, that was one of the very first things that they brought up. Oh, well, she uses all this woo-woo stuff. Princess Diana, she was another one. She also had her own personal card reader who steered her through. So when the shit hit the fan in her life, that was where she went to. And that's another woo-woo-woo one. John Edwards, who's psychic, he was working with a guy called Robert Hilliard to find, there was a man called John Smith who murdered 3 of his wives and a whole series of other women, prostitutes and things. And he couldn't tell anybody that that was what he was using, because the minute they said there was a psychic involved, everybody just poo, no.
Yeah.
Never, the man's crazy, all that stuff. It's actually getting more John Edwards still does some work with the police. He didn't want it publicized because his father was a cop and thought that this was all woo. So, but it's interesting that the minute anybody gets discovered to be using this kind of stuff, it just all gets slammed down. The majority of the Indian people I have worked with, and there's been hundreds of them, literally hundreds of them. They all have their own personal mentor who uses interpretive skills to foresee what's going to happen to them, and some of them won't move without them.
Yeah.
So I'll stop talking now and see what people have written.
Yeah. So Veronica, sending, oh, thank you, Gail. So Veronica was saying that she would think it's something that something is about to end, maybe a job, and there's a new job coming, and it's going to give lots of balance in your life. Just guessing at this stage, though. Really good guess, right? If it was Spades. So, but with hearts, it's more talking about relationships. So, but you're definitely on the right track. AJ, possible new relationship coming, but with fears from past maybe having an impact on this, but in the end, a positive outcome if you can work through it. Good stuff, AJ. Good stuff. And Marani, I loved Marani's. Do you want to share that one?
Yeah, she's added it up and turned it into numerology. So they're adding to 8. They're looking for some stability in a personal relationship. So it all kind of like every single one that you have said makes perfect sense. Like when I used to do my tea leaf readings in the tea house, if I got stuck, I would hand the teacup to somebody else, one of the other readers, and say, "What do you see in it?" And because everybody reads in a different way and sees different things, and this happens with Kerry and I all the time. It also happens with AJ and I. If we both read for the same people, we all give the same message, but we all do it in a different way. We all have different interpretations of it. And sometimes people need to hear, maybe the way I do it hasn't worked for them, but AJ will have hit it from a different angle, or Kerry will have hit it from a different angle.
Anessa, personally, I do, only because I am so used to just working direct with spirit as well. So when I'm receiving information through, I see, hear, feel, like it comes in so many forms. And with the cards, it's not necessarily the direct meaning of a tarot card, but I might be drawn to something specific in that card as I'm getting the information through. There's not as much to be drawn to, and you're more knowing the numbers with this. But if you're really good with the numbers, and once you get to know the numbers, then I think it would be much the same, but you have to keep reminding yourself there is that slight difference. As Annie was saying, you've got the difference in the 7s. 9 isn't your completion, 10 is your completion. Right?
I don't like them because, again, what Kerry was saying, the imagery on the tarot cards tells its own story. And the major arcana, which this doesn't have, the major arcana, there's 22 of them. They're actually messages from spirit. They're not necessarily like the minor arcanas, day-to-day stuff. But the messages from spirit and the guidance that you get from the major arcana cards in relation to what's been said in the basic cards, it's like, okay, you've got this. So spirit's coming in and saying, well, you've got options. And a lot of people don't think they have options. And it depends again on what Kerry was saying about the cards being around them. But the messages that come from a higher level are the ones that tend to give the guidance. So when you're reading a basic, the minor arcana, it's like, this is what's happening in your life at the moment. This is what has happened. I feel like you're at a crossroads. This is your message from spirit. This is what it's saying. It's saying, well, if you go this path, that's the possible outcome. If you go that path, that's the possible outcome. So I find them limiting in that.
Yeah. So, Sophia, good fortune in love and relationships. A hint there may be someone close to you that is jealous, but good fortune on this prospective love is coming. Sorry. I have to read it. Sometimes a bit small on my screen. Yeah, and that's a good interpretation too with this. Hi Kelly, lovely to see you back again. Yeah, and Nessa, you're right, it's a personal thing. I know for my nonna, she loved, like, she worked with them forever and a day, and so for her it was just a natural way to read. So yeah, it really becomes a personal thing. Now, this is going to seem really unfair because, of course, I had a bit more time to sit and think with these, and I'm throwing them out at you the way that I am. But I'm going to tell you how I would interpret it, right? So, if I have 2 of hearts in the past, what it's telling me in that card is that there's a meaningful relationship or an emotional bond with somebody. And that's a strong, and it can be partnership, it could be romantic, but it can also be a really deep friendship or soul connection. But in the present space, having the 5, you could be going through some strains and conflicts where you're not communicating as well and the connection is a little bit strained. But the 10 is actually telling you that the outcome is going to be really positive, because the 10 of hearts is probably one of the most positive cards in Cartomancy. So it's telling you that, yes, it's going to be okay. You have some things to move through, but you are going to get there. So if I was using this as a reading for someone, I would then be saying, look, your future does hold emotional fulfillment. So whatever is being worked on through right now is going to lead to a place of happiness, and you'll resolve this, so it is worth working on because the relationship is worth working on. There you go. That's how I would read it. Can you see how, like, I've just taken the 2's past or the situation, 5 sitting in the present. Oh no, they're not in a good place right now, but this was a really strong relationship, not in a good place right now, but the 10 of hearts is a great card, so it's going to resolve really positively. It will work out. Okay, so you can see I've taken that progression on it. Will we try another one? You all hate me. You all hate me for this, I know, but this is about you guys learning it. Okay, so, oh yeah, I forgot I put this in, right? Which basically what I just told you. The present challenge isn't the end. It's a bridge between 2 states of love, and the 10 of hearts shows a good resolution, right? So, and I thought that was a beautiful example to give you because we're just using hearts at this stage. Okay, let's try with the clubs. So, think about clubs being all about action, growth, and communication, right? So that's my hint. Action, growth, and communication. So we have the 4 of clubs, and 4s relate to stable work foundations. The 8 of clubs talks about fast forward movement. All the 8s are fast forward movement and communication. And the King of clubs is about business leader energy, right? That taking authority and leadership. So I'll give you a minute. How would you put this one together? I'm having fun with this. I don't know if everyone in chat's having fun with this. Yeah. You were so good with your guess then. Yeah, exactly, AJ. That's what I was saying. Yeah, you're right on. And Sophia was super onto it as well with what she was saying. Yeah. And everyone's having the right interpretation, maybe just not aligning totally to the suit, but real close. So you guys are doing awesome for just having this thrown at you. So nice to see you back again, Kelly, this week.
Have we got brave people in our chat?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Have we got brave people? They're thinking about it, maybe. You know what we don't get on here that everyone else sees in chat is the little dots to tell us if anyone's in the midst of writing something. Shall I just share? Give me a quick yes or a thumbs up in the chat. Oh, there you
here we go.
go.
Okay. Be confident in your choices and stand by what you say. Things will be fast moving, but remember to have some balance. Otherwise, it could go too far one way or the other. Good job, Amanda.
Yes, good
Now,
job.
before you throw your interpretation up, Kerry
Mhm.
Berry,
Yeah.
if I was doing this, nice work, Marani, needing a mentor to guide you through your current situation, but remembering how you fit. Another good
Yep.
job, Miss
Yep.
Marani.
Yep.
If I was doing this, I would be saying maybe this is somebody who's just started a business or is going into business and they've put in all the hard work at the beginning. And then with the 8, it's maybe grown really, really quickly. And maybe that's presenting a challenge because it's kind of got away from them.
Mhm.
So that's where Marani, her part of this comes through, where you would be thinking, well, maybe I need to go and get some assistance. Maybe I need to go and get some help. Maybe I need somebody who's been in this position who can
Mhm.
maybe help me to manage through this little fast growing business, because Kerry and I have both worked in 2 businesses that got too big too fast
Yeah.
and it ran away with them, you
Mhm.
know? And that was if I was reading this for somebody, that would probably be the kind of feeling I would be getting around this. It's ran away with you, it's grown legs. So
Yeah.
now you just need somebody to maybe help you rein it in or
Mhm.
maybe help you manage to get through it.
Mhm.
Veronica, I would think that it's business related. Yep, good girl. And somebody high up is looking at the work and it's being consistently done with a promotion coming, that it's going to be amazing. Good job. I'll have your
Yeah.
interpretation, Veronica.
Yep, that's a great interpretation. And the thing is, depending on, and remember, this is really random. So every single one that you've just said there is valid and works with the cards, right? Works with what the interpretation. You've done a great job, right, with it. Where it then becomes different is if, say, you're reading for yourself, you know the situation that you're reading on. So therefore, you have a bit of context around the guidance that's coming through with it. Or if you're reading for somebody else, right, then they will also, well, I want to know about, am I ever going to get a promotion where I am, right? For example. And then this would be interpreted the way that you've done that, Veronica. So it depends on what people have actually come in with.
Sophia's kicked in as well. You have built
Mhm.
a stable foundation, but there is further mature action required. An idea to find a good mentor, which could result in amazing promotion or new leadership role. Yep,
Beautiful. Yep.
yep.
Perfect. You guys are doing awesome with these. Really, really good. Because all of the way that has been, every single one of you has interpreted is
Nailed
valid.
it.
Yep. Absolutely valid for these cards. Okay. Shall I do, because I had a bit more time to think about it, obviously, and write something up for you. So for this one, 4 of clubs. So for me, the 4 of clubs is going to indicate that someone's actually got a really solid foundation that they've built. So this is in the past. So it's telling me that they've made a consistent effort. They've applied some discipline, or they have a routine. They've put in the groundwork and they've laid the basis for career or business, or so spot on with everything that you guys were saying around that, or a project, or even personal growth that could relate to that as well. They've put in the work around that. When I go into so thinking about that, that's a past. So they've really built something stable. There has been effort there, structure, and a foundation that they can stand on. Now, when you're going into what's happening right now in the present with that 8, what it's saying is okay, everything is really speeding up right now. There could be messages coming in, a flow of opportunities coming in, and a shift from something that was felt stable, I know what I'm doing, to almost like, oh wow, this, I'm a bit out of my comfort zone here, because now I've gone from this nice stable foundation into something that's really active and flowing. So it's really pushing that forward movement. So I would also talk about communication there, because with the clubs linking to communication, I would actually say start listening to the information coming in, because with everything being so fast, there could be some key information you might be missing. So with the forward movement, just make sure that you're still making informed decisions and that you're listening to that communication. But that 8 of clubs is, it's happening now, right? Whatever's happening is happening now. Make the most of it. And for the future, King of Clubs, it does represent that that person is stepping up. And this is where so many of you said promotion could be coming in. Absolutely spot on. And that's where I'd be going there. So it could be the business, when you move through this and you restabilize it again, then you're going to be seen as a leader in that industry or that area, or in your career space, or in the knowledge that you have. So it leads you into more of a leadership role. So that's beautifully done, guys. It's around leading, stepping into the authority, promotion, etc. So you guys totally nailed this one. Absolutely. So I would go foundation, quick momentum, leadership, and exactly what you guys said, career expansion, business growth, stepping into a purpose-driven leadership. And you've already done the hard work. Yes, it's busy right now, but you will reap the rewards of it. Okay, so that's definitely how I would interpret it. Will we do one more that's a little bit trickier this time? Am I being nice to everyone or not nice to everyone? Kelly saying she's inexperienced with tarot cards, would love to get better with them. Kelly, Annie runs an incredible introduction to tarot class. And I've been saying to her for a while now, she really needs to just offer that online for people. So maybe I'll keep jabbing her in the ribs.
Yeah, Anessa wants to do that as well. And I
Yeah.
read for a young woman yesterday who also wants to do it. So Kerry and I are meeting tomorrow to work out some dates and things. So we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, a little bit tricky, guys. I'm mixing them up for you now. But I have given you hints. Okay. So we've got 2 of hearts, the 8 of clubs, and the 8 of spades. So now we're going to think 2 is sitting in the heart space. So emotion, love, relationships. The 8 of clubs, 8 of clubs sitting in the present, is talking about growth, communication, taking action. And then the outcome card, or the future card, is also an 8. That's an 8 of spades, and it's talking about challenges, truth, and transformation.
Yeah, I'll get to you, Kelly. I will do it. I just need to get it sorted out.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one, because we're mixing up hearts, saying they're in their heart space in the past. The clubs talking about forward movement. Remember, that's sitting in your career area. And 8 of spades, challenges, truth, and transformation. That's all right, Shelley. Oh, are you? That's okay. Okay. Will I just jump into the interpretation for everyone? Or do you
You
want to
go.
have a go, Annie?
No, you go.
Okay, let's jump to interpretation. It is a little bit more on this one. So with the Two of Hearts, again, we're talking about, because we used that Two of Hearts, I used it in an earlier spread, right? Oh, here we go. AJ, I'm going to do yours first. Don't be afraid to move forward and connect. Things may be progressing with breakneck speed, but it's all good. Don't be afraid of this change. Stick to your guns. Good job. Good job. Okay. A loving partner. Communication abroad, but moving quickly into a solid relationship. Good interpretation there, because you're bringing in forward movement, bringing in the communication opportunities, some decision making. For the news, I love the way you write, Marani, the way you're interpreting these for the new situation.
I like things that lead people to a crossroads, because that means they come back and see me and ask me, do you know what's going to happen?
Yeah. So how I'd be interpreting it with the Two of Hearts is, so the journey that whoever this reading is for began with a good connection, right? So something real, something mutual, either in a partnership, working relationship, something that was very emotionally aligned. And it was also a bond that opened things up to things that followed. I did this spread, Annie, right? Because it reminds me of us, right? Because we started everything that we were doing because we actually have a really strong friendship and bond and we get each other. And that happens with a lot of people, like, AJ, Sophia, Gail, like we've got this great connection. And so many of you in chat as well, so there's that great bond and connection that's there. So what we were doing was aligned with each other, and we lift each other up and encourage each other in that space. Right now, it's indicating with the Eight of Clubs that, again, things are happening quickly. Conversations, opportunities, decisions unfolding, right? I did this on us, can you tell? And that's where we're at right now. Where are we going to do the next retreat? Should we do the next retreat? When should we do the next retreat? What workshop should we be offering? Let's get together and synchronize calendars, because otherwise we're booking things separately and we just want the dates to come together, So right now everything's accelerating. There's movement. We need to communicate, and the energy is building. So we can't actually sit still on any of this. Right? We actually need to move with the energetic flow of what's going on. So it's taking what we do as a heart connection of where we're aligned in what we're doing and taking it into real world action, actually doing something with it, right?
Stop thinking around.
Yeah, basically stop talking about it. Let's
do it.
Yeah, and there you go. Because we're now going back to is saying I'll just keep ribbing Annie until she runs it online, shall I? Right? So let's stop talking about what we're going to offer online as well as the face-to-face stuff, because that limits people just to who live around our area. Let's move some stuff online. And future. So this can represent forward movement, but through a mindset shift or a challenge. And believe me, Annie and I are both challenged when it comes to IT and technology. Right? But we're going to break through our limitations and progress, and that may require some courage, some clarity, and inner strength.
A Valium sandwich.
basically. So I thought that was just a fun one to throw in for everyone. So again, emotional beginnings, the clubs, external movement, spades, internal evolution. So it's about the transformation. This is all about transformation. And I think we're all doing that. Yeah. So there you go. So I guess what I really want people to understand with all of this is cartomancy, along with, say, the tarot or the oracle, or using divination rods or pendulums or direct communication or flowers for that matter.
Or
So,
ribbons.
or ribbons or runes. It's really about feeling the tool, connecting with the energy of the tool that you're working with, noticing the first impression that you actually get. And look at how great you did with all of these, like every one of you. Slightly different interpretation, but feeling the interpretation, and they all definitely applied to the cards that came out. You did an awesome job tonight. And trusting what comes through, because nothing really comes through in a rigid definition. And I think that's the key, right? So sometimes you've almost got to, well, and as Annie would say, the first thing you do when you get tarot cards is throw away the book. Take the book, throw it away, work with your cards, connect with the energy, because you're really talking about the resonance and the energy that you're connecting into with these. I had to think of what I do love about cartomancy, because I do find the others much easier personally. But I know, for example, my nonna would think the others were rubbish and that this was the only one to use. That's rubbish. And I can hear her saying it. But it really reminds us that we don't need special tools to do this. We don't need elaborate decks. We don't need years and years of training. What we just need is to be present in the moment, be open to the information that we receive, and have a willingness to listen to what's actually coming through to us. And that's about sitting in the stillness with it, just having that inner peace inside to allow that flow of the information to come through. Because even in the ordinary, like playing cards, spirit will still speak to us, but it is the tool, right? It is about the energy and the connection, because everything that we're reading is energy. There you go, guys. I think that's about I think I've talked like a blue.
That's why it's actually much easier if you have a person sitting in front of you.
Correct.
What I find is interesting, though, and I think it annoys people, because when I'm reading for people, I don't actually look at them. I have my, like I sit here, they sit on this side of me over there, and I don't look at them. I just keep going and I just keep talking, and I don't tend to look up, because if you look up and see they're going, oh, that can veer you away. You know, like if you're watching for the reaction, that can veer you away. A lot of the mediums do it with, like, they look past people or through people because you're reading their energy. So it's actually much easier when you've got a person there. And it's one of the things that, you know, like I'll say to people, is there an area you want to focus on? Because you'll get a much better reading if you have a question or an area of focus. And, you know, like people will say, help. I've actually got a friend, Anne Marie. She'll do finance, relationships, family, and one other, career. So she does 4 lines, so that she runs down through everything.
Right. Yep.
And because that's mostly what people want.
Yeah. Yeah. And if people go, oh, I don't really want to know, just whatever the cards want to tell me. Yeah. That's where a lot of readers will go, is, okay, let's look at this, let's see what they're going to say. Yeah. Because otherwise you could be all over the place with what you're getting. Yeah, I agree. It is much easier if you're focused on the one thing, most definitely.
Other things will come up though. You know, because if it's just one thing, you know, like if you're having a dreadful time at work and you're unable to leave that at the gate, you're going to be taking that home with you as well. So it's going to have an impact on your family, on your relationships. So even if they want to focus on, like, I'm having, you know, like my career, and I'll say, why are you still there? You know, why are you still there? What are you doing there? um, it will impact on other areas of their life.
Absolutely,
And
because everything's interconnected.
yeah,
You can't actually totally separate things.
yeah,
So it is all interconnected. I'm so
Ellie,
happy. You
hold
guys
on a
did so
minute.
well. Mm,
When you moved into your house, there was a Five of Hearts card left here. That's really interesting because the Five of Hearts is, um, it's an emotional card, but it also indicates change.
hmm
So if you have any knowledge of the people who lived there before you, maybe the circumstances changed, maybe where they were changed. Um, Maybe there was a breakup, a separation, because fives are always
hmm
shit cards. So, like it would be interesting if you could find out what happened, you
mm,
know.
yeah.
Ray Ray. Brain's a bit tired to absorb.
I know, and it was a lot, and it's a big topic, and I'm like trying to ask you to remember things as well. And I realize that, which is why I put the slides together, but it's with the little hints as to what everything was, but it's not the easiest of topics, and it's not the easiest of things to do, in my opinion. In my opinion, some people love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So,
think that's the truth. So it's like what resonates with you.
mm,
Like
exactly.
there's people that are all like me. I love my tarot cards. I'm all over them like
Mm,
a rash. AJ, she's the same. She's all over her tarot cards.
mhm.
We can all do tea leaf reading. We
Yeah.
can all do a whole lot of different things, but there's usually one that's your baby, one that
Yeah.
you feel really, really connected
Yeah.
to. So but that one, the playing cards are not it for me either.
No. And I've been playing all week, just trying to get my head around these cards. So you guys have blown me away because I can tell you when I first looked at it, I was nowhere near where you guys were tonight. So you have done extremely well. Oh, Gail, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you're loving it. Because it is definitely like it's based on our real experience of that retreat. It definitely is based on the real experience of that retreat, but obviously conversational to put it into a novel style. It's the purple room with lavender ceiling. Uh,
I could live with that.
yeah, I'm just thinking that the purple too can be quite a spiritual. Depends what they had in that room.
Mm.
Crown chakra, lavender, third eye connection. So yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, Annie, will we draw cards for the collective and see what the next fortnight's got in store? And
Sure.
should I be brave and try and do cartomancy, or am I just gonna
You go for it, girl. You just go for it. Oh, mine are going.
AJ, I do absolutely love these. But as you know, I keep getting the hearts and the diamonds mixed up in the reds because they're not exact suits, they're
Oh,
Egyptian symbols. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to use these cards, and I don't know if you can see that properly, but my daughter-in-law Rachel made me these cards, and that's actually the photograph of a sunset from my back balcony that she put on a set of playing cards.
that's gorgeous.
So bit spoilt with these ones. All right. Annie, I'm going to see what comes out. So, oh my goodness. Okay, there you go. Well,
Yeah, it was old school, Esther. It was old school. It was
yeah.
before. Yeah, a lot of older readers used them
hmm
because basically that was all there was
Yeah.
for a long time before tarot cards. Like there was always Rider Waite, and Rider Waite was where everybody went because they were like the
hmm
originals.
And very similar in look right away to
Yeah,
like your kings and your queens, that same sort of look in the Rider Waite cards, but adding in the major arcana to them. Okay. Annie, I might let. Oh, there drops one.
I'll go first for
Yeah, I'll
your
let you
fast
go first because
years
I'm
as
just
you're
going to need
throwing
to
them around the place.
get some come in guides. Will you help me?
My first card here, I've the only ones I've got at the moment with me are this is Body and Soul. And I just feel this card is a reminder for us all to maybe nurture ourselves and look after ourselves and try. It's a 5 card as well. It's a no shit card. Um, it's time to maybe take a breath and just tune yourself inwards and be a human being, not a human doing. This is about self care for me, that card. This one, a higher view. This card for me has got like a double meaning. The first bit of it is don't focus on all the itty bitty shitty that's happening at the moment too. I know there's a lot of people on here tonight that have got all sorts of stuff happening at the moment. I'm not going to name any of you, but you know who you are. There's a few of you. And again, this body and soul, look after yourself first. This one, the higher view. Again, don't focus on all the itty bitty shitty. Try and rise above that. I would also say, because it came out with the Divine Matrix card, that your angels are with you. Your guides know what's going on. They're with you, they're around you. Lean into that. Lean into that and try and focus on the positive. And for some of you, this is about trying to keep body and soul together at the moment, because in a lot of spaces, there's chaos and mayhem happening in people's personal lives as well as in the world. And I would say maybe once Kerry has finished and done her cards, I'd just like to ask everybody to do maybe a minute of silence, because I've got people that I want to send healing to. I know that some of you guys out there have got people that you need to send healing to. So if we could just pause for a second at the end of this and maybe just spend a minute, and we don't need names put up. We won't say names. It's all just us sending love and healing, because if we've got all of the people that are on here doing that, the healing that we're sending to whoever we are sending it to is going to go to anybody who needs it.
Yeah.
And if there's people on here who do need it, open your hearts and be ready to receive, because my goodness, I'm sending love bombs is what I'm sending. I'm actually firing the suckers at you, so be ready to come. Okay, Miss Kerry.
Okay. Well, the first card that came out was the 9 of Spades. So 9s in this aren't completions, right? Remember? And I'm reminding myself of this. This is near completion. And I'm putting this in what we have experienced. So what everyone's been moving through up till now, because I did get 3 cards. So I'll do past where we're at right now and what is coming. So near completions is definitely what we've been coming through with the Spades. So as a collective, what I'm hearing is we've been moving through a period of mental and physical and spiritual change all happening at the same time. So outdated beliefs have actually been coming up, and we've been releasing a lot of that, but they also need to be released to be ready for the completion. The next card that came up was the Ace of Hearts. Now, this card is where we're sitting right now. So we're on this threshold of moving through new beginnings. So things that actually fill the heart space are coming in and around us right now. So our hearts are opening up. There could be a new beginning available to a lot of people in the collective right now, for ourselves and for others as well. So this is our hope and expansion moment right now. So instead of thinking about, oh gosh, it's all been hard and we've been moving through this stuff, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. Instead of focusing on that, they want us to start focusing on the right now of hope and expansion of where we're moving to and the opportunities coming in. And moving forward, the last card that I got was King of Diamonds. And with this card, what they're bringing through is the empowerment. Remembering this is a leadership card. So it's actually, we are in the future, we're going to be stepping into our own power. So the opportunities coming in, this love and this hope and that empowerment that's coming in is going to lead us to a time where we're really stepping into that leadership, safety, and abundance in our lives. So I'm just going to ask my guides now, let's put it all together. Can we put it all together? So as a collective, we're releasing the weight of the past, right? We're definitely, and some of us will still be in that release. And we're opening into a new way of feeling about things, of loving and giving, and also to ourselves as well, where perhaps it could have just been outward rather than inward as well, and stepping into a more empowered and aligned version of ourselves, right? So we're moving into that higher self space. So what I'm really feeling here is none of this has been the end of a chapter. It's actually moving into a beginning of the new chapter. So that's where we're heading. So hopefully I've done these right. I'll have to check my interpretation later.
Good job, Katie. Good job.
So I hope you all enjoyed that tonight. It was fun putting it together because I had to play with it on and off during the week. No knee means goosebumps and fluttering solar plexus. Awesome, Kelly. Yes, because that whole new energy is coming in and we're moving into the limitless possibilities and the best version of ourselves with that abundance, which is awesome. You're welcome, AJ. So by no means am I an expert in this space at all, but just playing a bit and sharing what I'd learned over the week. So thanks for bearing with me tonight.
Okie dokie. Thank you, Miss Katie. What we might do is, if I don't know if a lot of you guys stay on till the end of our outro, but if we put up our outro music, if you stay on till the end of it, it will end, like it will stop. But if while that music's playing, you say the names of the people that you want to have our healing sent to, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Sounds good. So nice deep breath. Feel yourself.
Thank you. Thank you all for being with us.
Good night, everyone.
Any whispers, secrets in the night, mystical visions taking flight, carries God that angel glow so bright, guiding through the dark to the light. Tarot cards spread on the cosmic rug, healing power in a gentle hug. Meditation is deep like an ancient grove, finding peace through the stars above. Mind, body, spirit, soul, we rise, angel feathers falling from the sky, psychic waves in a gentle tide. Let the universe be our guide. Sound healing echoes through the air, lifted hearts with a tender care. Spiritual journeys we embark, lighting flames within the dark. Messages from angels clear and true, whispering love in all we do. Psychic development strong and wise, open path.